In the last episode, we discussed how to avoid hiring an expert steamroller. Someone who comes in, hijacks the project, and leaves you with something you didn't even want in the first place. In this episode, we're talking about the other side of the relationship, when the client steamrolls the expert. Listen on to this episode of Leverage Your Spark. Welcome to Leverage Your Spark. I'm Brandy Lawson. As a client, you might not even know that you've done this. There are many external agencies and experts that come in, and their whole goal, their whole plan even, is to do anything you ask. While that can feel productive in the beginning, it's not a great use of an expert. In fact, you're probably just amplifying any missteps, mistakes, or misguidance you already have by not allowing the expert to step up to the plate and lend their skill and experience. Even though you might not know that you've done this, here are a couple symptoms of this problem. I invite you to listen carefully, see if any sound familiar. Scenario 1, you've hired somebody, but it still feels like your project. Scenario 2, the people you've hired don't seem to have anything to add to the conversation. Scenario 3, hiring an external agency or expert ends up just being even more work for you. I'm not saying in all of these cases you're steamrolling your expert, but if these things have happened, it's time to take a deeper look. If you've listened to any of this season's episodes, you know the reason we hire external agencies or experts is to get more done, get it done better, or expand your ability to get things done. If you've hired somebody and it still feels like your project, that's definitely not working. The reason it's not working could be any number of things, but this is the time to take a look, see how you're showing up as a client, determine if you're clear on what your expectations are for their work and what your expectations are for the work you want to contribute. Interested in getting more value from the experts you hire? At Fiery Effects, we know a thing or two about getting the most from working with experts. Plus, we're experts in strategy, websites, analytics, smart business, and technology. Find out how to benefit from hiring an expert by booking a consult with us at fieryeffects.com/experts. To make sure you're not stepping all over your expert's ability to help you, here's a few key guidelines to keep in mind. First, decide upfront who is going to lead. There are many levels of experts with different levels of skill and experience. You might be hiring a freelancer who's really good at CSS code. Super. Let's be clear about who's leading here. And even if you're leading the relationship, how are you making room for their expertise? Are you asking for their feedback? Are you painting a clear picture of the end result you want so that they can lend their expertise on how to best achieve it? If you don't want this to be your project at all, then you may want to make sure that they are capable of leading the relationship. In that case, your responsibility is to paint clear objectives on timelines and outcomes, work with them to set up a structure to have regular check-ins and communication. Then the only time you need to dig in more is if the milestones or check-ins aren't being met. The other place to ensure you're not steamrolling your expert is to make space for their skill and experience. In the case that you're leading, or in the case that they're part of a team of equal leaders, thinking about how you structure your results, how tasks are assigned, and how expertise is welcomed will get you the results you're after. Intentionally leaving space and inviting expertise means that we can harness the most value of external agencies and experts. My friend Stacy notes that one of my personality traits is I can't go along with a bad plan. This is also true when it comes to clients. We've had many clients over the years propose shortcuts or implementations that I knew wouldn't actually get them the results they wanted. And when that happened, we had very candid conversations about what their motivations were, what they wanted to ultimately accomplish, and if this was indeed a good choice for them. In some cases, they wanted to go forward with the alternative that we didn't agree on, which is fine. They are the owners of their business and should be able to choose what they want. But at that point, we had to step back because I just can't be part of a bad plan. That's not to say that we haven't also adjusted plans with clients or changed course. The right thing sometimes needs to come in stages. But doing a house remodel in phases without a blueprint means at some point you're going to have to rip out something that's already done. Which is why strategy and planning is where we start for every client to ensure we're in step and in sync along the way. The end result of making sure that you're not steamrolling your expert is that you get the full value of having hired that external agency or expert into your organization and team. Even though it can be uncomfortable to let go, to trust someone else and allow change inside your business or organization, this is ultimately what you want. As long as it's aligned with the results you want, it will benefit you, your team, your organization, and ultimately your clients and bottom line. Now that we've talked about how not to work with an expert, in the next episode of Leverage Your Spark, it's story time. It's the tale of a pet-focused brand with big aspirations, but some fear of change, which I think we can all relate to. Did you enjoy this episode? Know someone else who'd benefit from listening? Don't be shy. Share and subscribe at leverageyourspark.com.